Don't know where that came from. Yeah, but where should we start? Obviously, we haven't done a podcast for a while.
Yeah.
But I was at the fights, UFC 296, and something interesting did happen right next to me. And I want to explain the full Strickland Duplessis saga. So I guess the fights with Volks. Volks has to do a fan meet and greet before. So we're literally there before even the fans are. Like, we're there early. Like
Early
before
prelims.
the early prelims even started. We didn't even know what was going on. It was weird being in there when it was completely empty. But we went to our seats, and me and Volks were sitting in the, obviously the star section. I'm riding his coattails here, right? And as I sit down, the seats are labeled. And I look next to me, and it says Sean Strickland. He had 2 seats there. And I was like, this is going to be an interesting night. I already knew it. Just seeing his name there, I knew this would be very interesting. And Sean arrived probably, I don't even know at what point, but close to the main card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, something you'll notice if you go to a live event is most of the best seats, the most expensive, are the ones that are given away. Those guys don't even show up until halfway through, you know, which I don't blame them. But on this particular night, all the fights were pretty goddamn good. But Sean's there, and he's 100% there for the Tony Ferguson, Paddy Pimblett fight. So just for frame of reference, right, Sean starts talking to us about Tony Ferguson, and he starts telling me and Volkanovski how insane a person Tony Ferguson is. He's like, yeah, I used to train with him. The guy's really crazy. He hears voices in his head. And me and Volks are like looking at him and then looking at each other, and we're like, how fucking insane does a human being need to be where Strickland's concerned about your mental health? That's how it started, right? And then during this fight, obviously Ferguson gets taken down. He's trying to play guard off his back. And then Strickland starts ranting about how jiu-jitsu doesn't work. Again, he has no idea who I am.
Oh, he doesn't? Okay.
Or he's the fucking best troll of all time because he's ranting about it, right? And we're all joking about what the fuck David Goggins is saying there. You know what I mean? Like, is it like he's like, you lose the first round. David Goggins is like, good, do it again. You need that. That's growth, personal growth.
He was like, get your fucking head into Tony, like just like motivational shit, but has nothing to do with fighting.
Tony's probably never had his head in it at any point. I don't think that's a factor in any of his fights.
Yeah, it's been a while for sure.
But during this fight, Strickland literally goes live on Instagram, and he's filming the fight, and he's yelling out, jiu-jitsu doesn't work, and he's yelling at David Goggins. He's like, Goggins, tell him to stand up. Tell him to stand the fuck up. And fucking eventually, Goggins starts repeating what Strickland's saying to him.
Oh, no way.
Literally starts listening to Strickland halfway through. And then when Goggins started doing that, Strickland switches the camera from face the octagon to us, and he puts me in the middle of him and Volks, and he's like, guys, tell him, jiu-jitsu just doesn't work. It's fake. It doesn't work. He's saying all this shit. Then he unfortunately deleted the live. So it started. His immediate presence was already fucking pretty chaotic, right? So that goes down, and then you already know, like, so when a celebrity, well, when the fighters' heads pop up on screen, there's a lady that works for UFC. I forget her name now, but she's the one that blasted Marigali at the Fight Pass event.
Oh, I forgot her name, but the sweet old lady.
Yeah, she's she'd be angry about that. But she basically goes up to a fighter before and is like, hey, yo, we're going to throw you on the screen after, and they get the cameras in position and shit. So that's when I did the sneaky little nose symbol, and they quickly. So I got to do the nose symbol, and then it immediately went to fucking Donald Trump after that, which I thought was pretty good. I imagine Donald Trump would have had a few in his day. Seems like the type of guy that might still have it today.
That was you did that during the Tony fight.
Was it during it?
No, I'm asking because I was at the ADC Open.
No, it was before Strickland got there, I believe, right?
So it was early.
But then when Strickland arrived, obviously she comes up, she's like, yo, we're going to throw you on screen. And Drickus is sitting like 2 or 3 seats behind.
It's 2. It's like Gilbert's family and him right after,
Gilbert's family and him right behind it, right? So it was pretty good. Sometimes they move the fighters around to stage them for these things, but this is actually where they were sitting. So it's on Strickland. Strickland basically turns around and Dricus is there, showing him face off. Strickland's pretending to shoot him. Yeah. And then start going back and forth. I think Dricus was like, do it or something. And then literally Sean asks Gilbert to get his wife and kids out of the way.
Legend for that.
Super polite. super polite. Asked him to get. He's like, "Can you move across?" And then just pounces on Drickus and starts throwing some 12 to 6 elbows and shit. And the whole time I'm just in disbelief of what's happening. But I remember thinking, like, there was some guys there that tried to break up the fight. And I was just like, man, this guy was just insulting jiu-jitsu. Let it go. Let it go. Like, if you're trying to break that up, like, let's just let it happen.
Yeah.
But allegedly, during this scramble, they're obviously holding Strickland's arms. Drickus ends up on top. I swear to God, this motherfucker went for a Mike Tyson ear bite. He's like, just fucking tries to bite his ear as they get separated. And like in the moment, I was like, am I imagining this? And then I've tried to find footage since, and I can't see it. Yeah. I can't see it clearly. Yeah. But from the angle I was standing, I was like, I swear this motherfucker just tried to bite him. And then they separated it. Obviously, Vegas police came in. And then Brandon Allen came and just took Strickland's seat. So obviously entertaining. Have him next to me all night, eh? He's a pretty funny guy, actually. During some of the fights, saying some funny shit.
Pretty smart move for you. You show up with like a bright orange bucket hat, and everybody knows it's you. Like
the Kango, yeah. I mean, it's gonna have to be a serious fight for me to risk getting the Kango involved. You know, the Kango comes off. So I'm pulling guard.
It's funny watching it because I just see you stand up, but you're just like looking at it, and it's happening right next to you. You don't move. You're just like, oh, this is fucking
We were just
amazing.
laughing, eh? Because I mean, it wasn't that violent. Like you saw no one took any real damage or anything. Yeah. It was just hilarious, eh?
That is pretty funny.
It should have easily been. I mean, maybe predicted. But the funny thing for Drickus is like, Drickus is a guy that's now been in two of the biggest non-fighting moments in the UFC. He had the face-off with Izzy. And then now this. And it's like, wow, this guy just is like getting all this insane marketing just accidentally.
Yeah, fighting the right guys. I mean, it does make you want to watch this more than you wanted to watch it before, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I know Dana came up after, and like I'm pretty sure he was just like asking people like what happened and stuff, and it's like obviously Sean went crazy.
Yeah. He took the credit, not the credit. He took the blame for having them sit where they were sitting. I'm assuming it wasn't him, but he's like, fuck it, it was my fault. They shouldn't have sat next to each other. It's too close.
Yeah, but I mean, Drickus isn't a guy that you imagine is going to start some shit. But I guess what he said at the press conference was very provocative.
It really got under his skin, huh?
I felt like what really provoked Strickland as well was when he was like, basically saying something that is true. Hey, you're a one-on-one guy.
Yeah.
That got the shot. It's like the Cinderella story. He's like a Rocky Balboa moment. He got a title shot. He really didn't earn.
Yeah.
Took full advantage of it, you know. And I felt like when Drickus said that to him, I felt like that actually really bothered him because obviously there is a bit of truth to that, and it's probably something that he feels that he needs to prove a point that it wasn't a fluke moment, you know?
Do you think it was that or the dad thing? Because to be fair, like, where do you draw the, like, they're fighting each other, they're punching each other in the head. Where do you draw the line on shit talk?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's entirely, like, obviously, like, Colby overstepped it, you know, but I think it's entirely up to you, but you better be willing to deal with the consequences. So don't cross the line and then make complaints about how people treat you later or people don't like you, or like, say Colby gets attacked in the street, calls the police and stuff. It's like, I mean, it's a game to you, but like, you're talking about someone's murdered father. That's expect consequences, you know?
Yeah. And he had the thing with Masvidal as well.
Yeah, he lost a tooth with that, right?
I think that's what they said in the police. I don't know if he made that up, because I'm assuming the UFC gave him that title shot based off of that. Like, don't fucking sue this guy or us or whatever. But I heard that, but I didn't see anything. I never seen like a picture of his fucking tooth fucked up or anything, you know?
I mean, it was good. It was a good, obviously, I imagine that sold a fair few pay-per-views and stuff, but like, I don't know. That definitely crossed the line. But yeah, I mean, Drake is talking about, I mean, Sean O'Malley literally was like, yo, your dad used to fuck you.
Yeah, said the same thing pretty much like a couple minutes before.
Yeah, but I guess also it's like based on how much people like you. People love Sean O'Malley, so it's like you sort of get it. I feel the same way in jiu-jitsu. I can say whatever I want. I get a free pass. Obviously not talking about people's murdered dads or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, definitely makes me more interested in watching that fight because of the shit that goes down. I feel like you need emotion to build fights as opposed to like being cordial and stuff. But I do get it. I mean, Colby did cross the line with the father thing for sure. It's like somebody's dead father's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
He needs a lot of security at these things now, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious what happened though. He looked pretty terrible. I think it was just because he was moving back the whole time. Colby usually just jabs, shoots.
Moves forward.
Leon Edwards' wrestling was sick.
Super sick, man. He's taken down Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. That's impressive. Sick.
As a non-American, again, this podcast was very anti-American, but like for Americans to be taken down by any of the former colonies is a complete insult to their culture of who they are. There's nothing worse than being taken down by an Aussie, a British guy, people that don't even have wrestling in school. Imagine, Colby clearly went to school, but he only wrestled because he didn't learn anything else. You know what I mean? So it's like you take a guy that only did wrestling. Leon Edwards is a striker that double-legged you.
Yeah.
And he's not American. Yeah, fucking kills me. It's hilarious.
Won a lot of, also won a lot of like grappling exchanges throughout the match too, which was fucking pretty impressive as well. I didn't see that coming at all. Yeah,
most of the time Colby got on top at all was just because Leon was actually taking some risks in the grappling exchanges, looking for a finish.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't take many risks in the striking. Really, he played very conservative, very safe. But on the ground, especially as the fight progressed, he took some big chances. Ended up on bottom and got up so easily.
So easy, yeah. I mean, he seemed massive compared to Colby, to be fair. But you're like friends with the camp. Did you hear before like he was like trying to prove a point? Because I think he could have starched him on the feet if he really wanted to.
I don't know. I mean, I was at the after party with him. I know his manager Tim and stuff, and like I think he just basically treated it like any other fight. You know, obviously it was probably emotional after press conference, but I know some of his boys flew in, and that really calmed him down, relaxed him. I met some of his guys at the after party and stuff. Really cool dudes. Again, get along well with that culture, British culture and shit. A lot of banter, shit talking, good people.
Yeah. He seems like a pretty cool guy, and his team around them seems pretty sick too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wild event all round. Like the crazy shit is the worst part about the event, I would say for me personally, was during the Pantoja Royval fight, the entire row of fighters behind me were Brazilian and just screaming the entire time. Like just like, gave me a headache straight away. And I was just like, please someone fucking finish this fight so I don't have to listen to 25 minutes of
Yeah, that was pretty sick fight. Fucking Bryce Mitchell and Josh Emmett was crazy, bro. Just like,
that was wild.
Yeah, I thought he was dead for real. I saw a meme that it was like, the earth is flat and so is Bryce Mitchell, and I was just fucking died laughing.
Yeah, Bryce Mitchell got the Jesus knocked out of him, eh? Like, they should take his camo shorts back after that.
Yeah, fuck, that was bad.
Heavy though. Emmett is like, if he connects, scary.
Yeah.
He just has trouble connecting on some of the better guys.
Yeah. Now, was that the first punch thrown in the fight?
I think the first clean thing landed, yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, that was crazy.
I remember reading when Emmett got knocked out by Jeremy Stevens, he had like vertigo for 3 months and like all these fractures in his face. And I was like,
fuck.
You give me vertigo for 3 months, I better be getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah. That's what Keenan was talking about, knock the crystals off your ear and shit. There you go.
That is true. Yeah, heavy. I mean, he's obviously been on the receiving end of a bad one, but he's given out quite a few heavy knockouts as well. But those are the scary ones because you see the body seize up.
Yeah.
Even his eyes are open and his eyes were moving in weird ways and stuff, and you look at that and you're like, oh.
Yeah, not fun. And then Touchy Feely had a good one too. He fucking... You were there all the fights, so you got to see all of it.
Yeah, I saw every fight.
Yeah, that was sick. That was early as fuck too. I was like pretty impressed.